In the 1980s, there were two figures that played a key role in the Cold War. One of them was Ronald Reagan, who served two presidential terms from 1981 to 1989. During Reagan's first term, the US and the USSR were on worse terms than ever. Reagan's main goal was to continue to contain the Soviet Union and communism. He gave a speech to the National Association of Evangelicals in 1982, where he spoke about how the main problem with the Soviet Union's totalitarian government is the lack of God and freedom to have property. Additionally, Reagan began building up the American military because he feared that the Soviet Union was not abiding by the SALT II treaty that provided regulation for nuclear arms. The Soviets were very involved in the arms race due to their enormous Red Army. This buildup caused military spending to go up by 7%, which is roughly $1 trillion between the years of 1981 and 1985. There were also new military developments being made, such as the Strategic Defense Initiative, also called the Star Wars, in 1983. This anti-missile system would cost around $1 trillion, which worried many American citizens who were already in a recession. Another way the US government tried to interfere with the communist agenda is the Iran-Contra affair. President Reagan's administration allowed the secret selling of $10 to $30 million worth of military arms to Iran, in order to release American hostages that were in Lebanon. Over $7 million were also given to the Contras, an anti-Marxist group of guerrillas in Nicaragua. The Boland Amendment prohibited the U.S. government's involvement in Nicaragua, making these sales illegal. Reagan's anti-communist policies soon began to be called the Reagan Doctrine. In October 1983, the U.S. military was asked to intervene in Grenada by the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, a group of 6 former British colonies who felt threatened by the murder of their Marxist leader, Maurice Bishop. There was also hundreds of Americans living on the island, and many of them were medical students. The U.S. military took the island in a few days with limited casualties. Meanwhile, in the Soviet Union, Gorbachev became leader in 1985. It was the first time a Soviet leader sought to majorly reform the Soviet Union politically and economically. He also wanted to negotiate peace with the United States. Many meetings happened between Reagan and Gorbachev during Reagan's second term. Gorbachev implemented small-scale capitalist movements such as perestroika, which westernized many aspects of the Soviets' politics and economy. He also instituted a policy called Glasnost, which gave more freedom to the people and decreased censorship. In 1987, Gorbachev agreed to withdraw most of his nuclear arsenal and troops, while Reagan abandoned his Star Wars plans and agreed to reduce the number of American nuclear weapons. These events all led up to the eventual fall of the Soviet Union.